The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayor's and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Mayor's and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. And each week, we bring you the goings-on all around the towns and villages that we cover. We're going to start off this week with Mike Falk. He's the supervisor of Lima and also on the Board of Supervisors, right? Covering the county stuff.
That is right, Chris. Thanks for having us. This past Wednesday, the Livingston County Water and Sewer Authority Board did vote to accept the long-term lease from the town of Lima for all 4 water districts. So if you live outside the village in Lima and you're getting water from the town, districts 1, 2, 3, and 4, as of August 1st, you will be fully serviced by the Livingston County Water and Sewer Authority. You will get the complete rundown with your quarterly bill, which will be coming out within the next month. And of course, it is that time of year. The Lima Crossroads Festival is coming up fast. We kick off this year with the townwide parade on Thursday, August 4th. Participants form up in South Lima on Garden Street starting at 5 p.m. and parade starts at 6. The route is South Lima Road to Poplar Hill to Woodruff to 15A North through the village to Corby to Bragg to Martin to York to 5 and 20, back through the village to Michigan to Rainbow to Meadowview, and then Michigan to Dalton, and ending over at the Elam Gospel Church parking lot. If you are a 2022 graduate of HFL, grab your friends, festoon your car, and be part of the fun. There is no registration for the parade. Whoever shows up and gets in line, that's where they are in the order. It is a lot of fun. We do toss out candy and things like that as we go. And this year we are not going to be conflicting with youth soccer. So as far as the balance of the festival, there will be 17 free bands in Lima between Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, along with the bed races, pony rides, petting zoo, bungee trampoline. New this year is a Star Wars obstacle on Sunday, but bounce houses and all that other stuff, so much more. All of this is free because the area businesses have donated the money to make it so. The barbecue competition, which we started a couple of years ago, has now grown to 16 teams this year and has maxed us out. We don't actually have any more parking lot to give them. All of the details are at limafest.org, and I will see you at the Crossroads.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Rick Milne, Mayor of Honeoye Falls, also Monroe County Legislator. What's happening on your end, Rick?
Well, a lot going on. I'll also just say, Mike, that festival is always fantastic. It's a great time. So great update on that. You know, we got some much needed rain this past week. Boy, it was awful nice. It smelled good. I know our lawns were all happy, but we need some more. You know, I hate to bring up negative things, but our combined communities are all mourning the senseless loss Thursday evening of a Rochester police officer shot and killed in the line of duty, along with a second RPD officer shot who fortunately was treated and released. But our greater Rochester and Monroe County community has seen all too much of these tragic and brutal occurrences, and we pray for the safety and well-being of all our law enforcement and emergency responders, as well as all of our residents. This senseless brutality just has to stop, and we have to work hard on that. As far as village projects go, the Wolfsburger Park project continues to roll ahead. Gutters have been installed on the roadway, the initial roadway going into Wolfsburger Park. The road base is finished. And paving for the road it was supposed to begin next week. Actually, some of it's already started. The model home that's right out front on North Main Street, Route 65, is in the drywall phase. And we're very happy with the advancement of the project. This work is all for phase 1 of the Wolfsburger Park project. Southco has begun working on a great lobby expansion and upgrade. Southco has been one of our community's largest employers for years and a great advocate for the Honeoye Falls and Mendon community. And we appreciate this great company being in our village. Speaking of a couple of great companies, Excelia Micropen on Paper Mill Street has begun a huge expansion for their facility, and they are in the structural steel phase, and we're happy that they're again expanding in our village community. They do high performance resistors, modern measurement detection equipment for the medical field, and they work with many top 100 companies. So it's great to have Micropen. They could have gone someplace else, and again, they've been here in Honeoye Falls for a lot of years, and they wanted to expand here, and we sincerely appreciate that. We've just recently received the plans for the Seneca Place rebuild for the fire affected units, and we're excited to see this project moving forward as well. It's such a big project as far as the mitigation of the buildings that were damaged by fire, and then just the rebuild and how to tie it all in. It's really been a project, and we're happy to see that moving forward. Our sidewalk project is just about complete. We're very happy overall with the results and appreciate Senator Group for her support with this funding. Their work finishing up Norton Street got finished this past week, and they're now working on West Main. And a lot of that work is done as well. So I believe that project is just about completed. I wanted to also mention more on a county level that I have been in contact with and am working, and this just kind of came up over the last couple of days, but I've been working and been in contact with the New York State DOT to work on 2 community projects. One is a milling project on Monroe Street near High Street. That section of road has some buckles or bumps, whatever you want to call them, that larger trailers and trucks and vehicles that are pulling trailers hit these bumps, and it just creates excessive noise. I think I've mentioned this before, but DOT has reviewed, and they're going to review this a little bit further, but is scheduling a project to help mitigate this issue. So it'd be some type of a milling project. They hope that they can mill it down and get that leveled out, and that will be a big improvement for the local residents. And then another project, which in my opinion is really important and is in the town of Mendon. This involves the intersection of Clover Street and Route 65 and Stony Lonesome Road. This intersection we've had multiple MVAs at over the years. As a matter of fact, I think twice this year already, DOT has had to come in and replace guardrails due to accidents there. I've asked DOT to look at that and come back with some suggestions for intersection changes if they deem that necessary. But we need to look at that because we just have too many accidents with cars coming out of Stony Lonesome and then the cars traveling south on 65 that come over the hill. It's just not the greatest site location. And I know our fire department and EMS personnel have responded there multiple times over the years. So I've asked them to look at that. They've agreed, and they're going to send a crew out to begin looking at that and see if they can come up with some sort of a plan. And then lastly, it's with mixed emotions that I announce that village trustee Sherry Stotler has announced her resignation as a village board member. Sherry's been a great advocate for our village community and was an integral part of the comprehensive plan review and recertification this past year. She has been a great liaison to the Honeoye Falls Mendon Historical Society and has been active on various other projects over her tenure. She will be missed, but we wish her and her husband Gary, as they build a new home in Ionia, they will be moving there after the first of the year. And, but with that, Sherry has sold her home, which is great for them. But they have to move outside the village temporarily. So as of August 1st, she will be resigned. So we thank her for her service and wish her well. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate the opportunity.
And thank you, Rick, for all that. John Moffett, Supervisor of the Town of Mendon. What is going on in Mendon?
Thanks, Chris. As Mayor Milne mentioned earlier, we've had some tragedy, not necessarily in the town of Mendon, but in our neighboring community of the city of Rochester, with a police officer that was one that was wounded, one that was killed on duty. That police officer has a wife and a family. The wife works for one of our neighboring towns in the town of Perrington. And we certainly want to wish our prayers and to that family, because just a tragic, tragic thing. We also saw there again in the town of Perrington, a person who's running for governor of New York State being attacked during a speech. These are very, very unfortunate things. And I certainly want to remind all of our residents that, lock your house, lock your doors. Sometimes people feel that we're a little insulated in this neck of the woods, but I want to remind everybody, safety first. And I've heard of people saying, "Oh, I never lock my doors. I leave my keys in my car." Please don't do that, because we're not as insulated as some may think. Also want to mention that we've had some sales in the hamlet of some of the commercial buildings. Still awaiting some further details, but we've kind of got our fingers crossed that we've got some potential commercial endeavors coming into the hamlet of Mendon. The Airbnbs and VRBOs, we have received some complaints about those. They, by code of the town of Mendon, they do have to be owner occupied. They do have to receive a special use permit. So anyone who is operating one of these who does not have a special use permit, you will be hearing from our code enforcement officer in the near future. Speed, we had our speed out on Plains Road and Sibley Road. We recorded several people going over the speed limit on Plains Road. That report will be given to the Monroe County Sheriff's Department. That report includes the time of day, the speed that they were traveling. So don't be surprised to see an officer out there with doing some enforcement. We'll be moving those speed mechanisms to the hamlet of Mendon. We have received permission to put them on a state road. I've been in contact with the Monroe County Sheriff's Department, and we have received permission to put those on a state road. So we're going to be putting those in the hamlet in the very near future. So there again, please watch your speed. Potholes, that's always an interesting conversation for people. I was really happy to see the state of New York doing some work on Route 251, the Rush-Mendon Road, between the Mendon Center Hamlet and the hamlet of Mendon. Filling in some of those potholes. There's been a lot of work done there lately by some of the power companies with the poles and wires, as well as removing some trees, and those trees shade the road. The road never gets a chance to dry out. That moisture seeps down into the pavement. Then we go through our freeze thaws, and that's how we get a lot of those potholes in the spring. So I was glad to see the state doing that. We've been requesting for that for some time. Let's see. And I think that pretty much concludes it. It's July. Hopefully everybody's out enjoying themselves and having vacation. And we certainly look forward to this fall. We're planning on opening up the youth center in mid to late September. So we'll be working with the school as far as that goes, and hiring some staff and working on some of the details about reopening that. So we'll look forward to that this fall. In the meantime, enjoy the summer.
All right. Thanks, John. Anybody remember something they forgot to say? No? Officially? Thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. Remember, we are airing every Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. If you like the page, it will tell you when the airing begins. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, it will also tell you. So that's it for now. Bye-bye.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.